All right, so a couple of years ago, I decided to try Ryan Pineda's couch flipping side hustle that he really pioneered for everyone else in the space. And I can't recall exactly, but I do remember seeing YouTube videos on couch flipping and getting the idea from YouTube and eventually starting it from there when I was back in high school. And in this video, I want to break down exactly how I got started couch flipping and how we are here today in a 3,000 square foot warehouse, possibly expanding into even more space very soon, and how we do 30 to 40K in revenue every single month. So, I want to start all the way back, like I said, when I was in high school and just tell my whole entire story from the point when I very first started couch flipping to now. And like I said, I came across it on YouTube. However, I can't recall if it was exactly Ryan Pineda who I came across, but I am almost certain it was because at the time, that was really the only YouTube videos on the topic, you know. And if not, it was 100% the most popular YouTube videos on the topic, which were Ryan Pineda's YouTube videos. So, with that being said, I came across it on YouTube and actually at the time asked my buddy to pick it up with me. I was trying to get him to do it with me, right? I eventually found a couch on Facebook Marketplace. It was a tan 5-seater sectional couch, and I said, "This is the one. You know, this is in perfect condition, damn near." One, two, it was only like a block away from my house, and it was a sectional. It was like a beige tan color. All the things were aligned. This was the first one to start 100%. So I immediately texted my friend and I said, "Look, bro, this is the one. Like, let's go pick this one up." I found this one, and I guess we were discussing the idea a little bit before, and I just sent him this couch. Hey, I think we can make some money on this one. And he said how he basically did not follow through with it. And this guy, same guy was actually just here the other day at the warehouse. So I'm cool with him. I still talk to him to this day. But basically, he said that his dad found the idea to be too risky and he ended up not picking it up with me. So instead, me and my dad actually went to go pick up the couch in my pickup truck, which I started out with. It's actually my dad's old truck, so I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to use his old pickup truck to start this side hustle. So we picked it up in that same truck, and he helped me load it. It was actually sitting out on their driveway, and I believe I Venmo'd them the payment, which was $285. And it's crazy because now, like a couple years later, like we've processed like hundreds of thousands of dollars in couch payments, which is just wild to even say. But yeah, that's just wild. Anyway, so we picked up the couch, loaded it in our pickup truck, took it back to my parents' house where I was living at the time, put it in our living room. We kind of had like a spare living room that I could work with basically. And that's where I stored the couch. That's where I cleaned the couch. That's where I took pictures of the couch. That's where I hosted a viewing for the couch. And I still remember to this day that particular couch showing, right? So I first cleaned the couch the next day. Then I had pictures of it like 2 days after. And on that same day, I listed it. I believe I sold it that night. So the customer came by the house. It was like this Mexican guy. He needed a couch for his family because they were actually just now moving into the house. And I remember, I'll get into the delivery, but I remember like being proud of myself. I actually have an old video because I kind of recorded it a little bit. I recorded a few clips from this very first couch flip, which is actually pretty cool. And I was like, I'm so proud of myself. You know, I supplied this couch for this guy's family. Now they have a new couch in their new house and their new place that they just moved into. And I remember feeling a bit of pride because I was able to help them get a new couch. So I purchased it for $285 and made like, I don't know, I must have sold it for like $600, you know, probably had free delivery on it, something like that. So those were the numbers. And I remember we had to throw a tarp over the couch because it was raining that night. So we had to, me, my dad, and the guy who bought the couch threw a tarp over it and the back of my pickup truck. We strapped it off, us three together, and then I just drove it by myself. And then the guy met me at his house and he helped me carry it in. And that's how the first couch delivery went. And from there, I just kept doing single couches at a time. So I would pick up a couch, put it in my parents' living room, do the same thing. And in the beginning, a lot of these couches I didn't even clean, right? A lot of them I was searching for good condition couches to where they didn't even really need a cleaning. And from there, I would just take pictures, fulfill the delivery, and sell it from there. So that's a important note for beginners who may be considering, hey, do I need to even clean these couches, especially when they're like still in super, super good condition. That's how I started. Now we're more of like a company, so we clean every single couch, just because I want to be sure we're selling a clean product. So that's what I did over and over again. You know, I would get a couch, clean it, take pictures, sell it, get another couch, do the same thing, get another couch, do the same thing. And I did that for probably a couple of weeks up until I decided to get a storage unit. And this brought my business to another level, or at the time, I guess it was still a side hustle, but it definitely leveled us up because now we had more space, we had our own storage unit, and it was just a level up. At the time, when I only had one storage unit, I really did not store that many couches. I wasn't selling that many couches. It was still like a part-time thing because I had other businesses as well, which was a complete mistake. I was doing like housing services. I was trying to do junk removal at the same time. I was trying to start up an online business. I was dabbling in so many different things. Probably not all at once, but at least while I was couch flipping. And that really slowed down the progress of my couch flipping business. Because if I were to just put all of my energy and effort and focus into the couch flipping business, I would have seen these results a lot faster. But I didn't. Because for some reason, I always perceived couch flipping to be a side thing. So that's how I kept it in my life. And looking back on it, that was one of the mistakes I made. Because I'm a big believer in devoting and deploying all of your energy and focus into one thing. Because I look at energy and focus as like a laser beam. If you put this full laser beam on one thing, you can really, destroy whatever you're pointing the laser beam at, right? Whereas if you have a bunch of smaller laser beams pointing at a bunch of different things, you're not really doing as much damage to all of these objects that you're pointing the laser beam at. Whereas you would do significantly more damage if you just point the laser beam at one thing. And that's where I fucked up in the beginning. So, moving on, like I said, we started with one storage unit. We eventually scaled into multiple storage units, right? And after we did that, that's when I was starting to take things more seriously. And I hired cleaners, and I had a couple of like older girls who were helping me out. And then I eventually came across one of the guys we have now on the team still to this day. He's been working with us for over a year, which is wild. He's a high school student. And then he had his buddy help out for a little bit as well. So I had those two guys helping me. Um, I had a couple of other guys help me actually. Several different employees over the past couple of years, but recently it's been way more consistent. Like I've had the same employees for the last year or so, and haven't really hired any new ones or fired any guys either. So there hasn't been too many changes to my employment in the company and too many changes to the team in general. But that was the time where I was taking things more seriously when I expanded into a couple of different storage units. And from there, we had an employee steal some shit from us. There's just a bunch of problems gone wrong, especially at the storage unit. So an employee stealing all types of shit from us. We had the managers at the storage units always giving us shit for having couches in the way, which just never really made sense because I specifically always told our team to keep couches out of the way. Whenever I was at the unit, that's what they were doing. Whenever I was actually doing the work, that's what I was doing. So I didn't understand it. These managers at these storage locker facilities, or at least the one that I was at, and the other ones that I've experienced as well, are always super unhinged. Like they're super. It was just unreal. Like something's going on. Like I don't know what it is, but for some reason, at least all of the managers at the storage lockers that I have been a customer of have always given me so much shit. There's always so many problems coming directly from the managers for some reason. It was weird, you know? And I always tried to keep a good relationship with them because that is a beneficial thing to do. And if you are looking to get into storage unit lockers, try to keep a healthy relationship with the managers. Try to get on their good sides because they can help you. And honestly, there was one who like really helped us out, who was really understanding about everything because we were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing at the storage unit, like using a light adapter for electricity and all that type of shit. So we were crossing the line a bit, especially like we're running a business out of the storage unit lockers. So definitely get on their good side. And we did have one that was on our good side. And I tried to make good relationships with all of the managers, but really there's like one manager in particular who was really giving us a lot of shit, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was just one girl. But at the same time, I've heard several different other stories that these managers at these storage locket facilities are just like completely unhinged. Like they're crazy. They're crazy. So I've heard that from other sources as well. But maybe it was just this one girl. Maybe it wasn't. But anyways, so we're onboarding employees. We have 3 storage lockers at the peak of the storage locker season and storage unit season. So during this season of my business, I had 3 storage units, all ranging or totaling up to 1,200 square feet of space, which is a lot. Each unit was 10 by 40, so these are big units. These are really big units. And I was paying about $1 a square feet, so I was paying about $1,200 every month for these 3 units. And eventually it dawned on me. Eventually I had the realization of, it's hot as fuck out in these storage units. Cleaning couches outside is hot as fuck in the summertime. And actually it wasn't that, it was cold as fuck during the winter time because you couldn't clean couches outside during the winter time. At least where I live, can't do it. It's just, and if you do it, it's like the upholstery machine's freezing up. It's just so many problems go wrong. I'm sure you could do it, but it's not sustainable, bro. It's not scalable. You can't do it at a high level. So eventually it dawned on me. I said, why don't I just pay a couple $100 more every month and get something like this with a fucking heater in it? So I started looking, and eventually I came across this space on Facebook, and October of 2025 is when we moved in here. That's when I onboarded another cleaner who we still have to this day as well. And it's been probably a little under a year now. It's coming up on a year and a couple of months here of being in this warehouse, and that's when we moved in. So we were still doing 100% used at the time of moving in here, and eventually in June, I believe it was, which was just like 2 months ago, we started doing B stock, which this leather one behind me came from B stock, and we started that out because I knew that I needed to get into bulk, because I had a mentor, I had a coach who was telling me, like, bro, you need to get into bulk like ASAP. Like, you cannot continue to scale used because you're just scaling the wrong operation. And in a way, he was right, because B stock has really helped us out. However, with the right systems in place, you can really scale used couches up. I think at our peak, we were doing like 25 to 30 couches, 100% used. So that is a lot of couches, guys. That is a lot of couches, you know? So with the right systems in place, with the right hires, you can really scale used couches up. Now, we still do, like, majority of these couches in this warehouse at this time are used, but we're probably doing closer to like 50-50 used in B stock, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. And maybe even like 60% used and 40% B stock. I think that's more accurate. So majority of these are still used, and we still pick up and sell used couches every day. So that is how I got here. Now, if you guys are looking to start couch flipping, or you're looking to scale your current couch flipping operation, link in the description. That's where you can book a call with me. I will personally hop on a call with you and see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one coaching program.